All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Hakudash. Shalom to you, Akim and Akwaf out there, um, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. Also, Shalom to the body believers, men, women, and children that are prophesied to return in these latter days, and double honors to the elders, apostles, of Great Millstone. All right. Briefly in this, I just want to read through this article. I'm not going to be very long. Um, I'll title it "Another Strain on Supply Chain." The famine is nigh. All right, the famine is nigh. All right, and it's becoming evident that as we come into this winter, all right, this dark winter, so called, you know, a lot is going on right now. All right, and we're really starting to see the designed um, collapse, the designed breaking down of the global economy. All right. We're seeing all these, supply chain issues, and you're seeing the supply chain issues on mainstream media, which should let you know, and which should set off, your spiritual antenna, so to speak, that they are putting it into the minds of the people, all right, that, you know, people should be, anybody who's paying attention in their right mind, with a family or, with loved ones is going to start preparing, all right, for shortages, okay, a lack of products and goods at stores. People are going to start preparing for these type of things and putting it on the mainstream media, knowing that that is only going to accelerate that process. All right, and this is all designed. All right, this all goes back to the stimulus. All right, all this extra money in circulation is chasing less and less products, goods, and services. All right, which is why also we're starting to see the inflation, that we're seeing. So let me just jump right into this article. Um, but before I do that, let me start off with Matthew 24. All right, I'll start at verse 1. It says, "And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be one left, or not, Salakia, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down." All right, and ultimately that was going into the destruction of the temple in, 70 AD. All right, verse 3 it says, "And he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." All right, and this is what he's speaking about at this point is the times that we're in, times that we're coming into right now. All right, being that the temple, all right, the men of the Lord, the body of believers, we are the temple in these days. All right, there's not a physical temple, in the land that we have access to. We are the temple now. All right, it says, verse 5. It says, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See ye that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Right? And we've been seeing the wars and rumors of wars. Okay, we've been seeing the military movements by Russia, by China, North Korea. All right, we've been seeing all these different things taking place over the last few months. Um, that a lot of people are not thinking about. They're not necessarily remembering, but we are on the brink of World War III. Okay. Verse 7 says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." All right. So we are, in the beginning of sorrows. We're in the beginning of sorrows. Okay. Because things are still relatively normal at this point. Okay. But we are rapidly approaching, okay, this time period. All right. We have the pestilence. Okay. That, everybody should understand that by now, with the whole, CV-19 situation. We've had earthquakes in diverse places, man. There have been earthquakes everywhere. All right, earthquakes, a lot of earthquakes. You also had the volcano eruptions taking place in different places of the world, in parts of the world. Okay, and this article I'm going into is going into, the famine. All right, that is going to take place. All right, so the article is on naturalnews.com. It says American farmers are having trouble finding replacement tractors or replacement tractor tires amid escalating supply chain woes. All right, so I don't think anybody has ever seen in their lifetime the supply chain in such a condition. All right, you have, the issues at the ports with the cargo ships and the containers. You have all those cargo um, containers just sitting, on the coast. Um, and then you also have, which is being caused by, or what I should say, it's being caused by the the requirements, all right, of the truck drivers, and the trucks is being raised. Okay, so all this is being done deliberately. Okay, and they're upgrading, they're raising the standards of the trucks and the truck drivers to the point that you actually have a truck driver shortage. Okay, and you have a lot of truck drivers that aren't actually able to do their job. Okay, because there's all these new requirements now. All right, and it is all being, framed and justified, all right, under the banner of, um saving the environment, all these different things. Okay, we understand where this is going. This is all going towards, the NWO, the New World Order, all right, the Great Reset, all right, and this digital, cashless, all right, autonomous, economy and system that they're trying to implement. That's where everything's going. Okay, so right now what we see is a designed, breaking down of this current system that we're underneath, so that this um, you know, system can be ushered in. All right, so let me just jump into this. It says a new and unexpected problem has emerged in America's collapsing supply chain that is making it close to impossible for some farmers to continue growing food. All right, and you also have, other farmers, being paid to destroy their own crops. All right, it reads, spare tires for tractors are now in dangerously short supply thanks to the government's never-ending Wuhan CV-19 fascism. It says, for whatever reason, critical farming equipment and parts are either not getting produced anymore or not getting delivered to where they needed to be, leaving farmers across the heartland in a major bind. All right. So this is crucial, man, because when it comes to, the industrialized farming that we see in the modern world, it requires, industrial tools and parts and components that make up these tools and vehicles and tractors. All right. So as the supply chain breaks down, we're seeing, this particular, field being affected significantly. All right. And that's what this article goes into. All right. So let me read that part again. It says, for whatever reason, critical farming equipment and parts are either not getting produced anymore or not getting delivered to where they need to be, leaving farmers across the heartland in a major bind. You try to baby your equipment, but we're all at the mercy of luck right now, says Court Holub, a fourth generation corn and soybean farmer in Buckingham. And what she doesn't know is ultimately we're all at the mercy of Yahweh Bashem Shai. Okay, all of this was preordained and prescribed. All right, and what we're seeing is a fulfillment of biblical prophecy. All right, across a variety of fronts. Okay, this is just one, facet, if you will. Okay, but there's a lot going on. All right, there's a lot going on. It says, who now locks his machinery up inside his barn every night after thieves robbed hard to find tractor parts from a local Deere and Co. dealership. Tractor tires, semiconductors, and other vital components needed in industrial farming sector are just not available like they once were, which threatens the ability of farmers not only to continue planting food, but also harvesting it. Okay. And then keep in the back of your mind, there's also, a drought going on right now. Okay. Let me keep going. It says, when equipment or machinery breaks, many farmers are now having to scramble to find some kind of workaround. Local welders and mechanics are often called on to try to rig something just to get the job done, even if it is not long-term solution to the problem. Because machine tires have become so difficult to find, growers looking to buy used equipment are also asking for close-up photos of the tires to see how much tread is left. Those that are bare are often skipped over in favor of something newer. As harvest ends, we will see farmers at equipment auctions not for the machinery, for parts, says Greg Peterson, founder of the Machinery Pete website, which hosts farm equipment auctions. Salakia. We're already hearing from you guys talking about buying a second planter or sprayer just for parts. All right. It says before the Fauci flu was even a thing, the American government was already targeting the farming sector with obliteration by forcing tractor manufacturers to start building the machines with built-in obsolescence. All right, let me look up that word obsolescence real quick. It says the process of becoming obsolete or outdated and no longer used. Right, and um, that is a hallmark, if you will, um, of this system. Okay, everything breaks down. Nothing is made to last. All right, that's why you get a new iPhone, and as you update it, it stops working. All right, which is ironic in itself. But that goes with everything we see in society. The quality of products, goods, services is very, very fickle. All right, it's very fragile. All right, everything breaks down relatively quickly, so that you'll have to spend more money. All right, replacing these things. All right, and they're doing the same thing to the farming sector, which is what they're saying. You know, it says much like a smartphone that turns into a brick after a certain number of software upgrades. The tractor industry was told by Big Brother that all new tractors must be made virtually impossible to fix. This forces farmers to have to keep buying new tractors, assuming they can find any. All right, so this is pointing out how deliberate this is. All right, how this is all being done on purpose. Okay, fast forward to now, and it seems obvious that this is a planned destruction of the farming sector. It is unclear how much longer the charade can go on before the entire industry collapses, leaving Americans starving without food. All right, and that is what is coming. Okay, let's go. Let's get that. This is Second Ezra's 15th chapter in the 10th verse. It says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." All right, and a lot of people, all right, especially Israelites, all right, the poor of society, are going to die in this upcoming famine, man. A lot of them. Okay. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." All right. And this is talking about spiritual Sodom and Egypt, which is mentioned in Revelations, the 11th chapter. That is America. That is Babylon the Great. All right. Mystery Babylon. All right. This place is about to get hit with major plagues. It says, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with fearful constellation." All right. And even prior to this supply chain, this farming equipment, issue, even before that, we were seeing drought. All right. We were seeing, really small harvest um globally, for major you know um, food items. You know, farmers' harvests were already looking kind of shaky as it was, and all of this is only going to contribute, to the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Verse 14, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against one another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." All right. And we're going to start to see that as these things begin to take hold in America. All right, we're going to see a lot of rioting, we're going to see a lot of protesting, we're going to see a lot of, breaking and entering into people's houses, um, bands of people, you know, um, going into neighborhoods, robbing and looting people's houses. All right, this is gonna be a time of, absolute chaos. All right, anarchy. Okay, lawlessness. That is what's coming. All right, and that's why we're doing what we're doing. That's why we're girding up the loins of our mind, like the scriptures say. We're getting our minds ready. All right, and we're storing up. We're laying up our treasures in heaven so that we have protection, divine intervention, and spiritual, you know, protection in these times to come, man. All right. So let me keep going. It says, "A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able." All right. Martial law is coming. All right. Very soon. Martial law is coming. It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation." All right. And we are on the cusp, we are on the brink of that right now. Okay. So let me get another precept, okay? Because being in America, we don't have any experience, you know, I'm saying as a whole, generally speaking, okay? Most Americans do not have experience not being able to eat, 3 times a day, 7 days a week. All right. This place has programmed and has conditioned people into eating all the time. Okay. This is the most obese nation on the planet Earth. All right. So when this famine hits, man, it is going to get real, man. This is Lamentations 4 and 9. It says, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through for the want of the fruits of the field." And that's right, man. Dying by famine is a very agonizing death. Is a very, you know, crucial death, man. All right, your body begins to eat itself. All right, that's what's in store for a lot of you Americans, a lot of you Babylonians. All right, and that's why, you know, being in the spirit, praying, fasting, you know, asking, Yahweh Shem Shai, for the right mentality and for endurance, in the times to come, is so important. But these people, you know, they've been laughing at the prophets, they've been scoffing at the prophets. All right. But this is what is in store. All right. And the Lord has also let us know that we're going to eat in these days to come. We don't have anything to worry about. All right. The Lord is going to take care of his men. All right. And his body. This is Isaiah 65:13. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. All right. So the Lord has given us his word, all right, that we will be okay in these times to come. And we have to have faith and we have to believe that. All right. So with that, I'll say shalom.